This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Harry's. Listeners of this show can redeem their trial set at harrys.com/criticalhit. Emails. This one is coming from a big fan. Could it be you? Could it be you? Or maybe it's you.
It's not
Hello,
me.
Critical Hit crew. After listening to Critical Hit for quite some time, I'm no longer a future person. I just caught up, so I wanted to ask a question, especially of those who have DMing experience. I've recently started a 4th edition campaign set in the world of my own design. The overarching theme is that there are two factions vying for control of a city in the desert. The heroes start out working for the city and its ruling king, but they will also meet the rebels who want to take over. The big idea in this game is to eventually choose which side to help. Neither is fully wrong or fully right, and the heroes will have to choose who they support. My question is this. What do you experienced DMs think of the idea? Have I gotten myself into too much trouble with this choice, giving it to the players? Thanks so much for entertaining me through 11-hour work days. Holy cow. You're all fantastic, but Randus is the best. Sincerely,
Everybody
a big
loves
fan.
Randus. Everybody loves Randus.
Everybody loves Randus.
Randus.
That's our new sitcom. Everybody loves Randus.
Yep.
Randus opens the door. Cat, I'm home.
Assistant!
Kit comes in. Randus, what are you doing?
Hey, here's our baby.
Here's our baby.
Oh, that's great. Randus's parents live in the castle next door.
Exactly.
The Mertzes are going to come over later, so there you go. Okay, so I think we've actually talked about this idea either in another episode or at least this idea of your heroes get started in one adventure, but they quickly find out they're working for the bad guy or they have to choose sides on which way they want to go. I don't think that's a horrible idea.
No, this one's a fun one to play. Running it is a little more of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Just be ready for some player conflict.
Yeah.
Uh,
The number one thing that you have to figure out, that you have to worry about, that you have to plan for is how do I get the party to, as a party, make a decision, right? Because if you have 5 random people that just happen to have come together to work for the city, and then it turns out that there's a big choice that has to be made as to who helps whom, and you're specifically making it difficult. You're making it all gray area, so you could go either way. There's nothing saying that half the party isn't going to go one way and the other half is going to go the other way, or that a single person is going to be like, nope, I can't do that. Everybody else goes over there, and then that person leaves. So either have a bunch of contingency plans for if that happens, or you have to come up with some reason why the party has to stick together and make the decision together. Otherwise, you're going to end up running a lot of individual sessions for people, and as they work against each other, essentially. It'd be like Urban Shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is solid and sound and sounds really fun. It is also one of those ideas that's going to require a lot of work and a lot of thinking on your feet as your players adapt to whatever that situation is. So, I would not necessarily recommend this as the way to start your DM career, but then again, I started mine with a bottle of tequila. So anything is possible. I think it could be awesome. Just, remember that it's also going to be terrible in some ways, and you're going to deal with that, and you're going to be stronger on the other side.
Anyone else want to weigh in on this?
I think you also have to consider at what point you want people to be making this decision. If this is like a, last few sessions, you're going to switch sides, then that is very different from you're going to realize the rebels are right, 3 games in and do that. Or if there's some kind of gray segment in which you're kind of running favors for both of them, and which is seems like it could be viable. So I think that kind of
that's the
forethought
option.
is going to be important.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. If you have some questions that you think we can answer, send them our way, podcast@majorspoilers.com, and I bet we will get to them eventually.
Someday.
Harry's. Oh, we've been talking about them for years. You've been hearing us talk about them for years, and we're happy to have them back as a sponsor this week, harrys.com. That's the place that you want to go if you want to check out some really great razors. Now, I've been using the Harry's razors for years. They've evolved so much. They get better each time that they have an update. I love the close, comfortable shave that I get. And I know some of you are saying, but Steven, haven't you grown a beard lately? Well, yes, listeners, I have grown quite a mass of facial hair, but listen, I'm not a neck beard person, right? It follows along the place where the beard should go, but, the whole part of my neck still needs to be shaved. And I like to have the beard look a little trimmed and cleaned up, so that's where the Harry's razors come in. Whether you're using the sharp, durable steel blades on the front that give you that close, comfortable shave, or that little trimmer blade on the other side, so if you got to trim under the nose or get other areas cleaned up, this is a great razor. And when you do want a close, comfortable shave, you don't want to have to spend a whole lot of money. And that's why Harry's, by selling directly to you over the internet, Harry's can offer their blades at a price much lower than the leading brand, about $2 a blade compared to $4 or more that you're going to get from those other guys. And come on, who wants to shave their face or other parts with a blade from those other guys? Quality is also guaranteed. If you don't love your shave, let Harry's know within 30 days, and they'll give you a full refund. Harry stands behind the quality of their blades, but they know that switching razors isn't an easy decision. So they've created a trial offer, and you can claim yours by going to harrys.com/criticalhit. This trial offer is a $13 value that comes with everything you need to get a close, comfortable shave. It's got the weighted ergonomic handle that I love so much, the 5-blade razor with the lubricating strip and the trimming blade. Like I said, whether you have a mustache or a beard and you just want to get the other areas of your body cleaned up or under your neck cleaned up, these are great. This kit also comes with a rich lathering shave gel and a travel blade cover. But here's the thing. The only way that you're going to get this is by heading to harrys.com/criticalhit. Make sure you go to harrys.com/criticalhit to redeem your offer and let them know that I sent you to help support this show. Once again, thank you so much for Harry's for sponsoring this week's episode of Critical Hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Oh, strange things are afoot.
At the Circle K.
I don't know if we could actually say it's the Circle K, but outside of the central building, there are 5 characters having a conversation.
Then the conversation got moved to the mess hall.
And then it got moved to the mess hall. And that's where we will pick things up this week on Critical Hit. Rodrigo, please lead on.
Critical Hit.
Let's lead on Critical Hit. So yes, what was the conversation that you guys were having?
Whose date Ket wants to be,
and also who we're going to bring as our +1 to this event.
I think primarily whether it's wise to engage the goths and the popular kids, or if
it's the goths and the nerds, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I know who my +1 would be if we're going with Asmodeus.
Who's that?
The only person who can fit in without the nerds into the goths.
It's fair.
Everyone looks at Sakar.
I'm pointing to Sparkle.
Oh, okay.
Some of my feathers are black.
Well, I guess we also need to figure out if Sarsa is our other +1.
No, she definitely is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the best course.
Randus, you have any concerns?
Don't know if I have any constructive ones.
All right. So
read me the summons from Arathis again.
All right. The summons from Arathis says, Lady Arathis requests the honor of your presence at a referendum on the Treaty of Worms. You and one guest may sign in the line below. You will be shuttled to Umber Island at 1200 hours.
So technically, if Sparkle goes with Ket, that gives us a +2 on our team.
Umber Island.
But,
well, presumably, Randus would bring Sakar.
True. Yes.
As his...
That's true.
Whatever their technical relationship is. And you would bring Sarsa.
Yes.
Look, I say, well, why don't you guys, you two might as well just put those in because that's happening. The only question is whether I come with Randus to Arathis or if I come with Randus to Asmodeus.
You mean
how did things... So I know last time... What?
On critical hit.
Cat!
Cat. Yeah, not Randus. Sorry.
Randus is cute. Cat has a beard.
So...
Don't ask the t-shirts.
All right. So during the last craziness, you made side deals, right, Kat? That's what got the whole drow situation going on in July.
I didn't make a side deal for the drow. The deal to get Lolth to cooperate with us because of mistakes that I had made was she got the temple of the Raven Queen that was in Shalai.
Okay. And you negotiated that without the knowledge or consent of these other two?
Orm and Randus? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an on-the-spot negotiation.
And where were they when that was happening?
Doing important stuff like fighting monsters, and Ket decided he just wanted to pop out of existence.
Ket.
Yeah, no, you guys were not even. You guys were not on the same trip.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a letter arrives from Seven Owls Wise complaining about Ket popping out of existence.
There you go.
No, it does not.
No. They were collecting the ingredients for the bomb.
May not have been a question of where were we, but when were we?
Oh, don't be that guy.
I'm going to table that one. Okay. And was the fallout from that public? Like, does other people know that you guys have reconciled as much as you have?
I don't know. I would assume so, because Lolth was our first destination, wasn't it?
I don't remember where it fell, but I will say that all of you were well documented as having taken part in the Celestial Crusade. Like, you've met plenty of people that you don't know that know you because you were in it. So although Ket was separate from the other guys in their things, like, everybody still came together and fought on the same side of the war. So
yes,
yeah. I was on a separate part of the plan all the way, wasn't I?
Meaning?
Well, they went to get the artifacts and ingredients for the bomb, while I went to collect the evil gods. Then during the actual fight, I was on the flagship. I was on Arathis' flagship, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was on Arathis' flagship, and they were delivering the bomb. Well, Randus was delivering the bomb, which was Orem.
Orem was the bomb?
I am the bomb.
You were the bomb. He did something about, I don't know, they can explain it better.
Yeah, I was a bomb. I delivered the bomb. The bomb went off. We won.
Cool.
So that does raise an additional question. There's no implication of any type of fallout of refusing Arathis' request, but you were on her flagship.
Which got obliterated.
And Ket did not.
Because Asmodeus saved me.
Interesting.
That's the personal deals that I made.
Yeah, I think this is really your call, Ket. I can see both sides. It's really up to you which play you think is better. And there's clearly repercussions for either.
Agreed.
I really think the Asmodeus play is the better call. I don't know what the repercussions for that might be, especially if I show up on the other side.
Well, we can certainly let Sarsa know.
Yeah, I would not expect her to be happy with you. I mean, again, you can explain it to her, but this mission is everything to her. So...
Well, but maybe she will see the advantage of having someone in on the other side.
She might also have some more insights into how the political structure of this meeting is likely to work. So I suppose it's worth bringing her in regardless, letting her know our dilemma.
Well, let's finish eating our food here and go see her and get everything signed.
Okay.
I've got one more thing to do before we want to sign. Well,
What is the one more thing you have to do?
I'm going to pray to the Huntress. I haven't seen her since right before the battle. I haven't heard anything from her since right before the battle, when I got part of her soul.
Yes, no third envelope.
No third envelope yet.
Maybe she's mad at you.
Or maybe she's not invited.
Or maybe
she just
have the
doesn't
power to invite.
Yeah, that's another real option.
All right, well, Ket, you go pray and let's get some of these forms signed. Unless you want us to wait.
Randus and Scar can sign. Since they're gonna sign on theirs. I think you should probably wait to have Sarsa sign just in case.
All right.
But it probably won't make a difference.
Okay. I'll just hang out. I'll go study some of my magic books.
Is there any temple type situation on the island?
Not really. There is like a hill.
All right.
So are Sakar and Randa signing?
I shouldn't see why not.
Yeah, so it'll be shuttled at 1200 hours, so this shouldn't immediately zap us away or anything.
As far as we know. Is there sufficient room?
Well, let's watch and find out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay. Do you want to sign first, or should I?
Well, you were the invite.
Well, yeah, you probably have to sign first.
Okay. All right. Just afraid if anything happens. All right, I will sign on the dotted line.
Okay.
Randus is consumed by flame.
Meh.
No, nothing seems to immediately happen.
Pass it over to Sakar.
Sakar signs with a flourish.
Okay.
It takes a bit.
Yep. All right, once Sakar is done signing,
Flame.
yes. 10d6 goblins appear and tell you to shut up.
I don't think
They
that's
all
what
have
happens.
enormous beards and a really scary scowl.
Yep. Dreaded unibrow goblins. Yep. When Sakar is done signing, the text in the invitation fades away, and it is replaced by a sigil that kind of looks like a short letter T with like a blocky letter N under one of the sides, or maybe like an upside down U. And then a glowing gear symbol type thing appears over Randus and Sakar's right shoulders. So each of them gets a little glowing gear, and it kind of looks like a little like pie sliver of the circle is not glowing.
That's interesting. Which segment is not glowing?
So if you just draw a line from the very center of the symbol, which, you know, even though it's like a half gear, it's still kind of this circular, the space that the glowing symbol occupies is a full circle. So if you draw a line directly from the center straight up, and then you just make a little tiny, like probably like 10-degree angle from there, that's the sliver that is not lit.
Is it a countdown clock?
It looks like a countdown clock, yes.
Oh. That's eerie. Is it tangible?
Nope. Your hand goes through it if you try to touch it.
I wave my hand through it.
Yep.
That's unnerving.
Well, do we want to be somewhere else when this ticks down?
Well, were that the case, I believe the indication was that we should have signed somewhere else if we were worried about being located, but...
No, do we not want unexpected company here?
I don't know. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't.
Okay.
But, I mean, I didn't see any reason why we would be concerned about tiny spiders either, so...
Alright, well, we'll see how the rest of this plays out.
Has Ket gone off to pray?
He will now. Done with food.
Now we can talk about it behind his back.
All right, so Ket goes off.
Yep, I'll go to that hill that you described earlier.
Okay. Yep, there's a hill.
So as far as we know, the Obsidian Huntress still has the same domains that the Raven Queen did?
As far as we know, yes.
We don't know any different.
Like, that was one of the questions we actually did ask on the way in, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, as far as anything, like all research seems to show that the Raven Queen's domains still belong to the Obsidian Huntress.
All right. I'm going to kind of freeze a small altar on top of the mountain, or on top of the hill.
Mhm.
Kneel down and pray. I know we haven't spoke for some time, and I know my actions here last time were not the most beneficial towards you. I need to know if you're going to be involved with the Treaty of Worms meeting, what you're able to do at this point, and if you need any part of me or my services to bolster your claim.
Okay. Well, there's no immediate response.
I didn't expect there to be.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm waiting for Ket to come back so I can go then talk to Sarsa, so I'll read some magic books while I wait.
Okay. What spells is Oren preparing today?
I think I'm going to go with stay with my fire spells for today.
Okay.
So we are all absolutely certain that we trust Sarsa.
No.
Well, are we absolutely certain we all trust Ket?
No.
Okay, then.
But that is a different
I'm
issue.
sorry. I'm not absolutely certain I trust anyone.
No, that's probably a good way to approach life.
That is a terrible way to approach life, but that's an argument for another day. My question is, what agenda would she have when we bring her, if we bring her along?
She wants to get this mission accomplished. She wants
She wants to make sure the universe is saved.
Yeah.
I mean, don't we all?
She was tasked with this by her god, so she wants to play as much of a direct role in it as possible.
And there's no possibility of, say, revenge motives or possible sabotage or anything along those lines.
I mean, I think her highest priority is keeping the universe functioning. I think her god was killed by the Void God, so unless she goes to the corpse or something like that, I don't know what kind of vengeance she's going to be getting.
All right. Seemed worth bringing up.
Oh, certainly.
All right, so Ket comes back eventually.
Hello, Ket. What did you learn?
Nothing.
It's worth the effort.
I say we let Sarsa in on the plan. We have a clock. I'll glance up at the glowing sigils. I don't know if it's best for us to sign them immediately at this point.
I think it's probably better to be safe than sorry, so we might as well go talk to Sarsa and get this done.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
So I don't know if everyone wants to come, or just Ket and Sparkle and myself want to go, or what.
Might as well all come, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know if we have much else to do in this short amount of time.
So we'll all make our way back to where Sarsa might be.
Okay. You guys spend some time looking for her, but you find her at the library.
Ah, Sarsa.
Yes. Hello.
There's been a bit of a development. Ket, would you like to explain?
Ket got an invitation from Asmodeus.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, we're thinking that it might be a good idea to have Ket go under the Asmodeus sigil, just so we have ears on multiple sides.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
It might be smart to do that. At the very least, see if he can hear any rumblings on that side. I do not know how this is going to be set up. We've done some research on Umber Island, and it appears to be a pretty ancient place, some place where gods used to have regular meetings, but hasn't been used in a very long time.
Okay.
Do we expect that they will all be present?
I would imagine that the majority of them will be present.
All right.
Well, then I think the only thing left to do is sign these invitations, and Sarsa, it looks like you will be my guest to this event.
All right.
So I will pull out the envelope, I'll sign my name, hand it to her.
Yep, she'll sign it. And yeah, a little gear sigil appears over each of your right shoulders. And it is appropriately depleted.
Okay.
Oh, do we need to sign this off island if we're going to be signing to Asmodeus?
It's Barrett's fear that whatever happens to transport you there will either make it so that they can find the place, or, I mean, for all I know, an actual creature is going to show up to take you there. So that would not be good.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to sail out, we can definitely just head anywhere and spend the rest of the time doing something else.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll get the Dance Arena ready.
Are we certain that transport would be provided for Ket?
Yep.
It says, don't be late.
Yep. The invitation doesn't say that transport will be provided for Ket. You're right.
Oh.
What a glorious thing that would be, right? If after like all this discussion is like, well, we don't know how to get there.
Well, we know where it's at, and I'm sure the ship would be able to take us there.
Yeah.
And we all arrive together.
So you guys just head for the ship?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Do we got our stuff?
within minutes, the ship is ready to sail. Looks good. You can see where some of the patches are, but what are you gonna do?
All right. I would say
Gives it a bit more character.
Yeah.
I would let Otto know to go make a jump to someplace else. Maybe that last island we were at.
Spider Island.
Yes, Spider Island.
Spider Fire Island.
Fire spider.
Look, it's uninhabited. We get to name it.
All right. Otto sets the course for Fire Spider Island. And you guys jump to Fire Spider Island.
Thanks to the power of the spatial super solenoid.
That's right. It's really not a jump
Nothing.
so much as a slow Like it's more of a Stargate than a jump drive kind of thing.
The puddle jumper.
Is it iris in and out?
Yes.
Is Spiderfire Island infested?
It doesn't seem to be. If you
No, 'cause we
recall,
didn't
you
go
guys
onto
just
the
went
island.
here,
Yeah.
and then you couldn't get to the island because there wasn't a secondary
Right.
craft, so you just stood around and set Randus on fire.
We weren't allowed to just,
It's just
stalk through the astral sea.
Convenient.
Well, might
Point.
as well sign the document now. I think we're safe enough.
All right.
Sure.
What does
Sign.
one use to sign a document to Asmodeus?
Blood.
I mean, ink is fine.
A pen and ink.
Red ink.
I mean, it can't be black because
Well, the outer envelope is black. The invitation itself is white.
None more black than that outer envelope.
All right, so
And
Ket
it's-
signs it.
And I will sign it as well.
So they sign it, and a similar sigil appears, but it is different. It is like it's basically like two. It's like a lowercase n and a lowercase u next to each other. And then a glowing pentagram appears over Little Sparkle and Ket's foreheads. And it is like also appropriately depleted.
Brutal.
Well, I guess we just wait then. Unless we do have to go.
Hmm.
Yep. Any final preparations?
We're still several hours, right?
Should
Or is
we split up for the sake of appearances?
Here's what I'm going to suggest. I suggest we do our communication spell like 20, 30 minutes before the top of the hour.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So that we're
Yeah.
kind of can be in contact with one another for things that are going on, and at least if and when we are separated, we can be in communication with one another, and also, they say you're supposed to be positive, but apparently this is going to fail, and I think we should all be in the know when this thing fails.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's this symbol, Ket?
that is the sigil of Asmodeus.
I thought the pentagram was.
Isn't that what showed up above us?
That is what showed up in your forehead.
Oh, didn't we also get like a N and a U?
That appeared on the letter.
On the letter, yep.
Oh, okay.
Once you sign, all the lettering appeared and it was replaced by the
The
Symbol-y
UN
thing.
or NU.
What is that?
spells new.
Yep. You guys are in the new metal section.
All I ever wanted. Yeah.
All right.
And theirs was T with the. Is it the same?
It's a
U
very
sideways.
similar. It's a very similar. Yep. It's a T with like a little U underneath.
For thank you.
Yeah. Or
It's
for you
actually
in Spanish.
There you go.
It's a combined letter R, S, V, and P.
All right.
I'm
so
not sure what these are.
Weird.
Would I be able to make a religion check at all?
no. Do you speak Supernal?
Yes.
You know someone who does.
Yes, I speak Supernal.
Okay. These are like, this is like a way to write down, it's like a numeric notation. It's like, kind of like saying like 10 from the top or like 5 over.
Oh, it's our seating chart.
Mm-hmm.
20% of your soul
Yeah,
taken.
I do know.
Okay, well, is there anything else we need to do to prepare?
Did
How much
Orem
time
and
do we have?
Randus have the same seating?
2 questions.
Questions.
Mr. Kett first. I think we had the same symbol, right?
I think so.
We may have
Yep.
lost your Draco.
And
How much time?
how
is
much
left?
time is left at this point?
We'll say,
9 hours.
yeah, probably like 6 hours.
So, are we concerned about how we're supposed to get there, or how Kett is supposed to get there, or do we need to send the ship to Umber Island and dock, or
Well, there's definitely going to be travel arranged for the Arathis portion of the party. Presumably, I guess the question does become, if Kett has no transportation as part of his covenant, how
And
long
me, by the
ahead
way,
of time?
because I'm Cat's gas.
Oh, certainly. I didn't mean to leave you out. Not that people haven't been doing that to you and I throughout the entire situation, but I'm not bitter. No. The question becomes, how long would it take for the ship to reach the island
Otto?
from where we are?
I mean, a few minutes, but it becomes a question of, do you want to take the ship to this island?
You do not want to take the
No.
ship to this island. Definitely not.
We go a
Sarsa-
couple hours out and make our way in casual-like.
Look, Sarsa says, I have one more favor that I can cash in if for some reason we need transportation.
Okay.
Hopefully it won't be an issue.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, because I'm saving that one for something.
Cool.
Fair.
You guys have been to this meeting before. Anything we should bring, dress?
We haven't been to this meeting before.
All right. Well, you've talked to gods before. Anything quick I should know?
Oh, I would avoid direct contact with any gods.
Ah. So we're just watching them negotiate then?
That is very likely what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to have questions from the audience. I'm
Makes
pretty
sense.
sure we're here to witness what is happening.
Okay, then.
Yeah, and if they do turn to anybody, fortunately for you, it's unlikely to be you that gets questioned directly.
Makes sense. I'm the new face at the party.
I may get questioned directly because I think I might be the only mortal that's been in the presence of all but one of them.
It's quite the distinction.
Well, weren't we all in their presence in that one meeting?
Just the Pentatheon.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they not the Quadratheon now?
Yes, the Tetratheon.
There we
There
are.
we go.
That-
Quadraphonic sound-a-theon.
Yes, the Miami San Machion.
Tower of Power Brass Machine.
I would say, had they been even the Pentatheon since back
Yeah.
then with,
Yeah, you know,
Huntress.
it's like the Big Ten. There haven't been 10 schools in that conference since forever.
Yeah, it's the big 2 and the little 6.
All right, so what preparations are people taking?
I guess mental preparedness.
Okay.
Gonna make sure my
Yeah, we'll cast that telepathy ritual when we get down to the wire.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to go ahead and spend for that and cast that?
Well, I can, but again, do you want me to cast it closer to time, or does that?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're going to
Abstract it.
Okay.
he's
we're going to
hand-waving
abstract the
time.
next 6 hours.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to like sit around and chat for
6
the
hours.
next 6 hours, which is valid. Like I'm not saying you can't, but just I want to hear actual mechanical preparations and,
Sure.
and what you guys are doing.
All right. So I'm going to spend some component costs. So 1,100 gold need to go away. And then I'm going to make an Arcana check if anybody wants to throw in with me.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Pass.
All right, so Orem's leading.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll, and then anybody who's helping can give me an Arcana roll as well.
Ooh, Rob.
35.
Ooh, Brian.
Ooh, Brian.
So
39.
So it goes up to 39. Can we get it any higher than that, Rodrigo, or is that as high as it'll go?
I think that's as high as it'll go.
Okay, then
unless you have some way of re-rolling an Arcana check.
Not without spending an action point, which I don't want to do.
No, and that's only in skill
It's a
challenges.
skill challenge mechanic.
And a person only has to hit what or higher?
10 or higher to assist.
Yeah.
So,
we make
so-
basically, for everybody other than you, it's a not one check.
Okay. So here's the thing. At 39, that'll go for 3 hours. If we can somehow get to 40, that'll take it to 8 hours.
What if I help?
Well, and if he succeeds,
It's
Rodrigo,
too
will
late
boost
for
it?
that. He
Okay.
didn't declare that he was helping.
Okay.
Like my guess is that
Start over.
Sakar. I mean, you can spend 1,100 more gold and try to get a better roll. That's definitely something you can do.
Is it worth it? I think it might be worth it.
Just remember that a botch does ruin it.
Yeah, I do not think it's worth it.
No. I think
Uh,
we'll just go with what we got. Could be better,
Okay. So 39,
Play
we've
it.
got 3 hours. We're all linked up, including Sarsa and the crew here.
playing it safe.
How many people can you get in on that?
You and up to 8 allies can communicate telepathically.
So up to 9. Okay.
And I don't think putting anyone on, we could include Otto if we wanted to, but I don't know if that would be of,
Might be a good idea.
you want to?
That-
Okay.
If we have to get out of here
Yeah, if we
quickly,
need a bug
it's
out.
Great.
Okay.
plan.
So suddenly Otto hears all of us in his head.
I mean, he has to be present and
Yeah.
willing for the ritual to happen.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
I mean, we're just idling at sea right
Yep.
now, aren't we?
So we might as well get him in on it.
Yeah.
So
all
that
right.
should be everybody. Otto,
What
Sarsa,
else?
and us.
Okay. What else?
I'll spray myself with my fragrance of authority, so that I get a bonus of +2 power bonus to bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate checks.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely
when
gonna
we go
be
in.
having
Countless
my,
lines authority.
gonna be having my rod of beguiling at the ready.
Okay.
And then,
You wanna
Hmm?
energize any weapons or whatever while we're here, Brian?
It would be best. I think I'll Sakar. Should I?
Yeah,
Fine.
Certainly.
All right. Well, you'll have a floating +2. You can spend after an attack roll.
Okay. After an attack roll?
If you roll an
Yeah,
attack
if you-
roll and one,
If you swing and you whiff, you can say, "I would like to spend that +2 to."
Oh,
Get me to the
that'll
goal
be
line.
Great.
yeah, maybe not whiff, but just roll a
Oh, I don't whiff.
yeah. If you need a nudge,
That would work.
And then, I'll spend any remaining time basically going over books or getting coached by Ket on cramming in as much divine knowledge as I can.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. You guys don't really know what you're getting yourselves into.
He said ominously.
Yes, but I do say everything
When do we
ominously.
ever know what we're getting ourselves into?
Say what?
When do we ever know what we're getting ourselves into?
No, that's true.
You can't cruise on luck forever.
It's worked for 20 levels so far.
For you.
All right. So, is that it for preparations?
I think so.
Did Orem have the hat of disguise last?
Yep.
I think we should give that to Sparkle so she and I each have one in case
Just in
we need to
case.
get out of there.
Okay.
Sure.
Orm reluctantly hands it over.
We expect the hat of disguise to work against gods?
No, but I expect the hat of disguise to work against
minions.
anything the gods brought
Mooks.
with. I just kind of putting as much in the
Trickery.
dangerous part, or in the most, yeah. I feel like if we have to bug out, it's going to be a little more iffy for the two of us than the 4 of you.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Let's
All
see.
right.
Well, no. Orm's over here. was about to say, I kind of feel like
Hello.
we're sending the two squishiest people off on their...
I'm not squishy. What are you talking about?
That's true.
I'm not as squishy as Orem. I can hide, so
Yes.
it's a little like being less squishy.
All right. So, time continues to pass. Pretty close to the end. You guys cast a ritual to be in psychic connection.
Is there a
And
range on the psychic connection?
No, it does not say.
So probably the same plane then.
Yes.
yeah, I would say definitely the same plane.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I think we had established that it doesn't. So that's the real strength of the ritual, is that it doesn't seem to have a spatial component, just time and duration, or time and the amount of people.
Yep.
All right. So, as time continues to tick by, eventually the sigils fade away, and Randus, Sakar, and Orem find themselves in a different place. Oh, and Sarza as well. Yep. You are in at the shore of an island that appears to be mostly white stone. And in front of you is a pretty enormous amphitheater.
Okay.
Is it empty or full?
You can't. I mean, you can see the walls to the amphitheater.
We can't see inside.
Is there anyone
You can't see
here
inside,
to-
but when you look around, here's what you see. First off, this place is crowded. There are lots of people walking in. Also, when you look up, the skies are crowded in that there are several angels, devils, demons, dragons, swarms of monstrosities, lightning elementals, and all kinds of critters flying around, kind of doing their thing, which is largely being enormous and scary and in the air.
Is there anyone here to meet us?
There does not appear to be.
All right, then I guess we'll start moving towards the amphitheater then.
Yeah, make our own way.
Okay. As you guys head towards the amphitheater, you see that there's a large entrance, and on either side of the entrance are these really large statues, which kind of look like gorillas with bug heads. Carved out of white stone. Like, one of them is just kind of on all fours, and another one is on 3 legs and has like an arm up in like kind of a threatening gesture. Standing at the doorway is a about 7 foot tall, red-skinned, dog-headed person type thing. It has a large sword on its back. And the head is kind of mastiff-like.
Do 2 of us recognize this person?
Well, he does look like a Hound Archon. You've seen Hound Archons before.
Right.
Does he look like a particular hand Archon that I don't know?
They all pretty much look identical.
Okay. We'll approach and try to walk through the gate.
Okay. He looks down. He has a symbol of Erathis on his belt. and he looks down at you and says, "Your invitations."
Pull out my invitation. Show it to him.
Okay. He looks at it and motions you through.
Okay. He obviously does not recognize us.
Aww.
Walk up with mine, assuming with
Yep.
Sakar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go on through.
All right, thank you. Go through.
Okay. Well, it's not terribly hard to find where you're supposed to be sitting because it's very close to the entrance, and there's a bunch of people wearing Arathis symbols and dressed in our colors, sitting around. It's pretty diverse: elves, dwarves, humans, Kenku. Just a little bit of everything. Definitely lots of lantern archons, so little glowing spheres, sort of floating around.
I guess I don't know if there's a particular seat we're looking for or just a section, but we'll try to make our way into the section.
Yeah, it looks like it's just a section.
Okay.
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 There's no concession stands or souvenir stands.
Not that you can see.
Okay. So we're like way in the back, right?
No, you can be closer to the front, but there's a pretty wide gap between the seating area and the stage.
Okay.
So even if you're all the way in the front, you're not like, you're not close enough to touch anyone who's down on the stage.
Okay. There's so I guess we just need to find a really good seat.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Get out your big foam Arathis symbols.
Yeah, I got my big Arathis finger on.
Get ready to do the wave.
Yeah, pull up your shirt. One of us will have an E, then an R, then an Athos.
Yeah. You guys find some good seats. Yeah, it's pretty clear. You can see basically all the way across from you in the auditorium. There are you can tell Asmodeus's crew because they're all wearing black robes with a symbol on it.
Mm-hmm.
And over there you can see Grumsh's people because it's mostly orcs and they're and gnolls and stuff, and they're being really noisy. There's actually plenty of humans over there too, and a few demon little imp looking things making noise. There's a bunch of dragonborn over there and some really fancy looking humans, so that's probably Tiamat's people. There's a bunch of elves and Eladrin and Kenku and fancy pants people over there, so that's probably Coralon's crew. You can see more or less where everybody's sitting.
Do we see anyone we recognize?
Not from where. Yeah, not you don't spot anyone you recognize from where you're sitting. But I will say that in a strangely unceremonious fashion, all the gods are already down at the stage. They are standing around a big, wide table, and they're all in more or less humanoid form. So there's a lady in a red dress with a big white collar, and it kind of the ribbing on the supports on the collar are very reminiscent of a dragon's bat wing type thing. So yeah, red dress, white collar, dark makeup. That's probably Tiamat in human form. There's a creepy looking little drow girl there as well. So that's very likely Lolth. Asmodeus is there. His head looks like a goat's head. And also that pentagram. It's kind of the same shape. Wearing black robes, looking smart. Coralon is there. He's got long blonde hair. He's wearing some fancy robes, has a sword at his side. Melora is there. She has long red hair. Is wearing, a seashell bra. Has kind of like a green tinged skin. The Obsidian Huntress is there. She is dressed in dark robes and has an enormous wheel of sharp obsidian blades floating behind her back. Grumsh isn't there, but there is an orc there, and she has a like glowing eye on her forehead. So she may have been appointed to be at the meeting.
Interesting. Is there a section that seems to have less of an audience than others?
No, it's all pretty packed. There is literally a dragon, like a big black dragon, on Tiamat's side. So there's like lots of room around it. So that kind of looks like there's fewer people. But nope, everything is roughly about the same as far as population. Arathis is also there. She looks like a young woman wearing with a short haircut and a kind of a military jacket. Just kind of the ones that fold where the breast folds over for extra protection in white and blue. And she weirdly looks like she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep, or she's like queasy or something, and just seems to be trying to like get her contingent together. Like she's talking to Coralon, and he's kind of ignoring her a little bit. And there's kind of a lot of hubbub. It doesn't look like anything official has started. The gods are just kind of sitting around talking to each other. Did I miss anyone? Laura, Coralon, Asmodeus, Ramesh, Lolth, Tiamat.
Did you describe Arathis?
I did.
Yeah, he's missing the secret god.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vecna is not there. And neither is Bahamut. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, Brian. Jeez. Way to bring down there too soon.
So
I'll try to talk to Ket. Ket, are you there?
Okay. Well, we'll pick that up here in a second.
Okay.
So meanwhile, the timers run out, and Ket and Little Sparkle find themselves at an island, white stone, big amphitheater over there, lots of different critters walking in.
Well, I guess we didn't need transportation.
That's good, considering that we wouldn't really want to call in that favor. I guess lead the way.
Obvious entrance.
Yep.
Head there.
Okay. So as you approach the entrance, Little Sparkle spots someone who is sort of inconspicuously trying to make himself seen.
Who is it?
It appears to be a southern continent Kenku. Young, male, handsome.
The Kenku known as Tekiatl?
Yep. AKA
Backstabby.
Aluche, AKA that lying bastard.
So, like, Ket sees Little Sparkle's hand go to her dagger.
Do I notice Techie at that point?
Yep.
As he noticed us?
Oh, yeah.
That's
He's
probably why
like-
he's making himself
Yeah.
seen.
Oh. Release the hand from dagger, walk over. Luce?
Little Sparkle.
I was wondering if you'd be here.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I knew that, or I had heard that your friends are a big deal around here.
Yeah, apparently.
You save the universe once or twice, people start to notice.
Mm-hmm. Are you going by Ket again?
Of course.
All right. Well, Ket it is. So, how have you been?
Out of my element.
Yeah, I get that. I'm glad to see that you all made it out of there alive. You did all make it out alive, right?
We did.
It's not just the two of you?
Yes.
Well,
What
good.
happened? We didn't see the aftermath.
The aftermath was very intense, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out stone about the size and shape of a ping pong ball, but it, seems really solid.
What's that?
Oh, it's an iron stone. He
Okay.
holds it out to little Sparkle.
She'll cautiously take it.
Okay.
And put it above her head.
Yep. It kind of hovers there and makes a weird noise for a little bit. He points at his own head, just kind of as a mimic, and he's like, "It's your hat. You have a magic hat."
Right. Yeah. She pulls off the kind of beadwork around her head, and pockets it.
Okay. The iron stone starts spinning around little Sparkle's head, and she suddenly finds herself back in old Mawakau, inside the installation, and she can see she's kind of standing outside of the chamber where kind of like that last battle went down.
And what's it look like?
So you start moving into the chamber, and basically it looks like a lot of dead people. There are some charred, like although not properly like burnt up, but some like ash or like, I don't know, like calcium type remains of people. They are warped, as though something at the center of the room had basically pulled on everything. So, their limbs are elongated, their heads are kind of squished or stretched or whatever, and everything just kind of points towards the center of the room, where the machine is, which is just like completely destroyed.
Of the bodies, are they mostly coil operatives or also like elves and rats?
There's a couple elves, or no, there's no elves in here. At least not in this chamber. But over there where the control panel was, you do see the body of Lek and the body of the Queen's Rebellious daughter. She has like her arms around him, and they're both like, agony warped to heck.
Well, boo.
Do I see Lucia at all, or presumably not, because this is his perspective?
Yeah, it's not. And actually, if you look at your hands, they're his hands.
Cool.
And there's like, you can like kind of follow the hands and like poke one of the things, and it like one of the remains, and it like falls apart into dust.
Mm-hmm. I'll go take a look over, just a closer look at Lek and the Queen's Rebellious daughter, just to confirm that it's them as opposed to, I mean, not that I could necessarily tell, but get a better view to make sure it's not like a duplicate or an illusion or something that's going to disappear when I interact with it.
Yeah, no, not really. It appears to be them. It's like their clothes are like, transmogrified into the same dusty stuff, but you can recognize the cut of their clothing and like the seams and things like that. Lex beard, like you can. It's all still there. It's just been kind of horrendously warped. And same thing with the Queen's Rebellious daughter.
I'll walk out of that building.
Okay. When you walk out of the building, you see that the building itself has kind of spiraled into itself in that point. And then outside, there's just like some corpses you recognize or some like passed out guards and stuff.
I guess I'll kind of walk the perimeter, see if there's any other interesting effects of this.
That seemed to have been pretty contained. Like that's one thing that the Queen's Rebellious daughter managed to do was keep the area of effect within that building.
Sure. Do I see? I mean, I know Teach escaped, so do I see him at all?
No, this was clearly something that happened like afterwards. So first off, Teach was like off in the distance,
right, that's
keeping
fair.
track of things. So he would have been clear by now.
So yeah, this is Techiaddle doing recon after the fact.
Yep.
I'll kind of reach up to see if I can kind of disengage the ion stone.
Yep. Weirdly, it's kind of like reading, so you can just like move your eyes and you're back. And it just kind of stays around your head.
Then yeah, she'll take the ion stone in hand and pass it back to him. So
okay, he holds up his hand. Just keep it. Let's call it a let's call it the first part of an apology.
I didn't think I was going to get that.
Well, the job is hard. Attachments are difficult, but they're also what makes it function. You're a pretty good liar. You know that it's a lot easier to lie when there's a kernel of truth to things.
Did you know I was a truant before you got close to me?
No.
Happy accident, then?
In a sense. I mean, it definitely was helpful to have a friend on the inside who also was not looking out for the coil's best interest. But as it turns out, a guild's interest is never people. That's why I'm here.
Oh, what is Capricorn's interest in this?
Well, they were a little miffed that I didn't get more information to them about what was happening.
In regards to the machine or in regards to this divine mess?
Oh no, this is outside of anything they care about. But yes, regarding the coils machine.
So what, you're on the outs with them?
In a sense, they were pleased with with what happened, in that the coil's largest project was shut down, but they definitely expected me, I guess, to come back with a lot more information on it. And as it turns out, weirdly, I just did not manage to see exactly what was happening with that machine, nor did I have any valuable information that Capricorn could use to duplicate it.
Why didn't you share more?
Well, I guess it seemed a little big.
That it is.
Besides, if Capricorn if any of the guilds managed to duplicate what the coil did, it would only cause more problems.
So what's your plan now?
I'd like to think of myself as a free agent. Technically, I'm here under Grumptious auspice, but I've never been in a more disorganized organization, so I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think I can pretty much come and go as I please.
Good to know. She'll gesture to the pentagram. It's we're here for Asmodeus. So perhaps we can compare notes.
I don't see why not.
Well, apparently the God of Tyranny takes punctuality very seriously, so we should probably head in.
Yeah, for us, there was just a guy shouting if anybody wanted to go, and you just kind of raised your hand. So
I was wondering how you got an invite.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. We got fancy envelopes.
Wow. Well, don't let me keep you. I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Certainly. Thanks for the stone.
No problem. So, Sam, that is an ion stone of intellect.
Ooh.
Which is a level 21 item, and it is in Morden Canaan's Magnificent Emporium, if you're looking for it in a book.
Cool.
And it has, the book doesn't say that it can record things, but it basically holds one recording. So if you wanted to show that to other people, you could, or if you wanted to delete it and record something else, you could.
Cool. I will save this recording currently, but we'll likely use it at some other points to keep stuff. But I'm guessing the rest of the party is going to want to see that one.
Yeah. All right. So you guys head for the door?
Mm-hmm.
So at the door, there is a different bug-looking monster than the big bug statues. This one it is humanoid, but it is standing on two legs. It has a weird fat beer belly type thing. It has a bug's head, big scary mandibles, antenna. It is white with sort of blue spots, light blue spots. And it is holding a big icy spear. And it is, maybe a good 7.5, 8 feet tall.
Do either of us know what this thing is?
Rob, do you know, or do either of you know what that is? You can give me a religion check.
You say a religion check?
Unless you know what it is just by looking at it.
God,
if you as a player know what this is, then
image of it super clearly from the monster manual, but I'm trying to remember what it's actually called.
Yeah.
So it's not a barbazoo, is it?
No, barbazoos are spiky.
Okay.
It's a galugon.
Galugon. There we go. Okay.
So the thing looks down at you, opens its mandibles, and says, "Invitations, please."
Produce mine.
Okay. Looks at it, nods, and it says, "Welcome to Umber Island. Here are your robes." And passes you 2 sets of black robes.
Of course. I've got a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Put my robe on over my armor.
Yep.
Okay.
Orem.
Yes, Ket.
We're in.
Excellent.
Techie's here too.
Oh?
Yeah. I've got really bad news.
Okay.
Unless this was forged in some fashion, and it doesn't seem likely, Lek and the Queen's Rebellious daughter are dead.
How do we know that?
Shared a memory with me through a magic item. I'll let you and Randus take a look at it later.
How did he survive?
He got clear before the thing exploded.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, Ket.
All right, well, contemplation on this later, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to make it, though.
Yeah, we got teleported here, no problem.
Excellent.
And we have fancy new robes. So.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, can I see you?
Yep, there she is.
What's that?
If Sparkle waves, you see Ket next to her face palming.
Oh, okay. All right. How,
Well,
how,
she can wave in a subtle way. She doesn't have to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, how far away are we from them?
They are like all the way across the building from you.
Like, football field, multiple football fields?
We'll say football field. That
Okay.
seems about right.
All right. Are you guys close to an exit?
Are we?
Yeah, you can get to an exit pretty easily. This place is really open too. Like, there's multiple exits. Like, you could just climb all the way to the top and then like jump or climb down or whatever. Like, if you have a way of say like walking on walls or anything like that, like it's pretty easy to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, close enough.
I wonder who has something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we want to try to get to the middle of the group, try and get to an edge with... Who's next to... Like, there's obviously a section for everybody, but what section is next to ours?
The section next to yours, on one side is Scrumsh, and on the other side is Tiamat.
Hey, why do you guys suppose Grumsh isn't here?
Formality's not really his thing, so...
Yeah, apparently he there was just a random call for anyone who was technically of Grumsh to show up. No fancy envelopes for them.
And Rodrigo, who's not looking well?
Arathis.
Arathis.
Oh, okay. Arathis doesn't look very well either.
Yeah, I've heard that she's sick or something, which is, obviously weird for a goddess.
I
Yeah.
imagine the drow situation is taking a toll on her.
Oh, because they're messing up her city?
It's my best guess. From what we understand, they seem to be taking over a large section of it.
Don't you have some say in how that turns out, Ket?
No.
Okay.
I don't have any say in how that turns out. I had a hand in the creation of said situation.
Yeah, now I wonder if you can undo it.
Seems unlikely considering how far it's gotten.
Yes. Anyway, does anyone know what's going to happen next? Sarsa?
My guess is eventually they're going to get down to it. They're just waiting for everybody to trickle in.
You still able to hear us, Otto?
I am.
All right.
Oh, this should be exciting.
Should we go sit near the dragon?
Yeah.
You guys go sit near the dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. He's really big.
Sweet.
And he's the only person there for Tiamat?
there's lots of people there for Tiamat. It's just everybody's keeping their distance from the dragon.
It's fair.
Like a lot of them, a lot of Tiamat's like priests and stuff are like sitting shoulder to shoulder because the dragon's taking up so much room. Plus, the dragon's aura of menace around it.
Yeah, scares people from getting too close.
Yep.
It's great.
It does give us the most space to bug out if necessary.
Also, we get to admire a dragon.
Yep. Magnificent. Black scales, super long, enormous, like forward curving horns, skeletal face.
Black dragons truly are the coolest looking of all dragons.
Yeah. And it's got its wings tucked in, but probably has a colossal wingspan as well.
Sweet.
Yeah. Amphitheaters are not great for dragons, so it's kind of like
Just kind of making a statement by not coming here polymorphed in any fashion.
Yeah. It's kind of a thing where like weirdly like its butt is higher than its chest because it's like forward.
Great.
I mean, you've seen cats do that, right? Where they like sit on the steps and it's like their butts are up on a higher step. So it's kind of like that. But this thing also has a really long neck, so its proud, stately rictus grin monstrosity head is higher than anything else.
Still looking regal.
Yep.
What are the gods doing?
Some of them are chatting. Some of them are explicitly not chatting. It really looks like Arathis is trying to get everybody to start the meeting.
Okay, well, I guess we'll wait and start that meeting next time on Critical Hit. Until then, podcast at majorspoilers.com if you have questions. Of course, we can always use your support, and we do need your support. You can find out more at patreon.com/majorspoilers. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2018 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.